The BIBA Conference 2025 brought together the insurance sector's top executives, and Insurance Business UK was on site to ask the industry's biggest questions. In this edition, we ask, what is the key to attracting more young people to insurance?
So I think ultimately that is the responsibility of all of us to start to address some of the perceptions that exist with it when it comes to a career within insurance. I think there is more opportunity to reach out to young professionals and show them what a career in insurance can be and how diverse that can be. Because of course you've still got the traditional roles, be it claims, underwriting, etc. But our real dalliance and our work that we're doing around automation and data creates that level of diversity that potentially a young professional doesn't see entering the insurance market. I think as part of that, we need to be able to tell the story as to what does the career look like for an individual when they come into the insurance market. They also need to have a real view as to the impact that insurance can have for society as a whole, because there is a societal good that sits behind the role of insurance professionals.
I think we need to engage with them early. So get involved with the schools, universities, attend the careers fairs. We need to raise the profile of the industry, and actually it's quite glamorous. There are lots of prospects within insurance, and I don't think we showcase that enough. So to get that across to the younger people is really important, and to make them see what career paths there are, what training programs there are, what structured training programs there are with the likes of scholarships through CII and things like that. We need to diversify recruitment, so look at other backgrounds, different types of degrees like engineering, marketing, finance. There's a place for all of those in the insurance industry. And we need to develop a strong employee value proposition. So it's not just about paying benefits to today's professionals. They want support for well-being, they want support for emotional and cultural needs, so that's really important too.
So I talk a little bit passionately about this because I have 3 kids of my own, and one of them is really interested in coming into the industry, and that's because he had the opportunity to spend some time with a major reinsurer for a day and actually see what insurance was about and the opportunities that it could offer him, both from a professional perspective but also from his social life perspective in terms of things like the Lloyd's football team and things like that. So when we talk about young people, we have to create a world where they can see the benefits of being in this industry and not thinking of it as a dull industry, but the variety of roles that we have, the way that we work, the new technologies we're using. We're a leader in data and insight when you think about pricing in underwriting companies. So we have to make sure that we bring to young people the true vision of what this industry can offer across all sorts of things. If you want to be super technical, really into data, creative, you have an opportunity. But we have to do better than just job adverts and talking about it. We have to really show people what to do.
Well, I think this is an interesting question, but actually quite straightforward. We need to let young people know about insurance and know what a great career it can offer to them. So to do that, we need to be out there in the schools effectively, at A-level, recruiting apprentices, advertising ourselves to young people. And I don't think we do enough of that at the moment. So, it's up to all of us to get out there, talk to schools, colleges, and advertise what a great industry this can be for a young person.
I think we need to make it more visible to young people from all different walks of life that there are a lot of different opportunities and career paths within insurance. Certainly when I joined insurance, it really wasn't apparent to me quite how many different options there were in terms of careers. I think we also need to invest more in training. We're starting to see quite a big talent gap emerge already. And when we suddenly, we're in the process of recruiting for quite a few roles at the moment, we're going out to look for talent. We're already seeing that lack of investment start to play through. So I think there's highlighting the benefits of the industry. There's also making sure that we are investing the time and the funds in order to make sure that this is an attractive industry for people to join.
The key to attracting younger or any talent into the insurance industry as such is, what do we all want from a job that we start with? We start with a job and then we start focusing about our careers. So you can put an array of chocolate fountains and 4-day weeks and massage rooms and things, but that's not going to add any value to an individual. So the key to attracting good talent is to offer something constructive and meaningful and help them create a sense of purpose in them. And that is through training, opportunities, exposures, bringing people to events like BIBA and other industry events is going to add value to them. They gain better exposure, and then they start to grow as better individuals and better professionals. So if you want to attract good people, show them and tell them how you can add value, and then certainly come after you. And that's what we see with thousands of people flocking for a job in Google and other big tech companies, because they know they'll be trained really well, they'll be always on top of the latest, they'll be kept informed about what's happening, and they are in the middle of everything that's happening in the world. So add value to them and you get the best talent.
Yeah, so I started out in the insurance world, like many people, on the insurance grad scheme. One of the bits that areas I think the insurance market as a whole need to talk a little bit more about is just generally how the insurance market is so important in the wider macroeconomics. It's such an evolving space. We've just been talking about AI. We know that the sort of technological developments and areas of focus in that space mean that there's such a huge opportunity from people from such a variety of backgrounds that the insurance world is something that we should be talking more and enhancing for younger generations to come.
Attracting young people to insurance is really important to me at the moment. My daughter leaves university this year and she starts out as a graduate broker. She's going to work for a broker in East Anglia. And what's been really interesting for me in that is she had a year's internship in a broker and told me how much fun and exciting it was and the work they were doing. We keep it such a secret. It's a brilliant industry. We need to communicate so much more stronger to those younger people coming through and starting out their careers. What a great opportunity it is to work in insurance.
I think insurance doesn't do the best job it can in terms of actually the types of roles that you can actually have when you work for an insurance company. Now, unfortunately, insurance has somehow over the years got a bit of a dull or negative connotation in terms of the industry, but actually it's far from it. When you break down you can do marketing, sales, account management, product management, technical roles, actuarial roles, there's such a breadth of interesting and sort of skill sets that all sort of sit around insurance. Actually, I think we need to do is break them down into the types of roles and the types of opportunities that sit within the insurance sector. I think it'd be a much better way and a more positive way to actually attract people into the industry.
I think it really is just to make sure that they know that it's a really vibrant and engaging industry. There's more to it than just number crunching and spreadsheets, and that actually the job descriptions can be a bit too detailed, and if they actually just recognise what a rewarding career it could be, they will be coming in vast numbers.
So I think with insurance, it's about image. So the image of insurance has been traditional, and I think that the image needs to change to be transformational. So if you think about some of the best insurers currently, they're probably technology companies with a balance sheet. I won't go as far to say that they're insurtechs because I think that's a bit of a tainted word. But if you think about the skills that you need in order to work in that industry, whether it be data, whether it's AI, but access to technology skills, which are at the forefront of most young people's mind currently, I think it's going to be incredibly important. On top of that, most young people I speak to are after a purpose-driven career. That's not to say that others haven't been after a purpose-driven career historically, but it's almost more important to them earlier on in their career. Now, insurance, can you get more purpose-driven than insurance?
I think the insurance industry, generally speaking, has always battled a little bit of a reputation problem. It's not necessarily everybody's first choice to get into. There's a long narrative, and many of the people that we speak to today, when you ask them their insurance story, they tell you they just fell into it. And I think that's a narrative that we'd like to really transform. We want insurance to be the first choice for a lot of people getting into the industry. So, some of the challenges that we need to overcome and address for that, promoting and showcasing diversity and inclusion. Absolutely. People want to see leaders that look like them. They want to see them represented in a business and have something to work towards. I think as well, when you think about what matters to young people now coming into the workforce, just generally speaking, a lot of them are less motivated financially, but they're more motivated by a career path that gives them meaningful work and allows them to make an impact on what they do day to day. That ethical and moral obligation is there for that generation. And I don't think we speak about that enough in insurance, about all the impacts that we make on day-to-day customers, where we've helped businesses stay alive and stay afloat. We've helped people stay in their jobs because of the insurance and indemnification. And I think that's really important to promote that good feeling that the insurance industry can leave you with. And lastly, stability and growth is something that we need to promote a little bit more for the younger generation getting into the workforce. It's clearly, cost of living crisis has been on the forefront of the news the last few years. Clearly, people want jobs that they're going to be in long term. They want that security and to know that there's growth opportunities in it. And if anything, since COVID and over COVID and everything that's happened since then, the insurance industry has proven itself incredibly resilient. Lots of headway for growth, certainly from a personal and company perspective. And those are all the factors that I think we need to really showcase to young people to attract them to the market going forward.
So I think attracting young people to insurance is about opening up insurance, so showing young people the opportunities. So through ICANN, we do a lot of stuff around kind of masterclasses. We do a lot of stuff around personal branding. We do a lot of stuff about what the market does and who operates and works in the market, and the fact that you can have a really fulfilling career. So I think by opening up the market, making it more transparent and more visible in today's financial services market, by doing something like that, we'd be able to attract more younger talent.
I think there's quite a lot that can be done. We need to make our industry more accessible, and what I mean by that is there's a lot of nepotism in our industry. Most of the roles that I've had have been through knowing somebody that knows somebody, or people that I know in my network. And so if you have a broad network and you've got somebody who's coming to you that wants to come to work in the industry, you can make those introductions. But if you're somebody who might be neurodivergent or like from a socially disadvantaged background, the accessibility definitely becomes more challenging. So it's getting into schools, it's getting us like trade fairs, rather than it simply being around graduates that are coming out of certain universities or somebody's son or daughter who wants to come into the industry. I think also, if you think about the sort of top tier of the sort of C-suite, there aren't, obviously it's obvious to say that there aren't many women, or there's not much diversity at that level. And if you look at the sort of next layer down, we've still got the same issues. So if we continue to promote next step up, it's going to be a long time, if you can imagine, before that sort of level of diversity is reaches the top. So there does have to be a bit more of a rethink and looking at different ways how we can make coming into the industry more interesting. I don't think we do a great job at promoting the different types of roles that are available in the insurance industry. When you talk about insurance, people just think it's home insurance or motor insurance. They don't think about all of the other classes and all the other things that we can insure, all the other things that are connected to that. So I think there is definitely a lot more that can be done.
We should make it easier for youngsters to come into our market. I don't think the existing CII qualification process is particularly easier. I'd like to see more of an apprentice type scheme, government supported. I don't think the government's latest view on changing support for over 21s is particularly helpful. It doesn't help people come into our industry in that sense of the word, and we're losing the better quality talent to law, accountancy, financial services, and yet insurance is such a wide, very wide industry with lots and lots of opportunities. My two sons would be good examples of that, who are in the industry, but they're in the industry because they've found a route through their father and the good services of other people, rather than the industry helping them find a job.
I think it's a bit of a soapbox for me, this. So I think we all have a moral obligation in the industry, actually, to try and attract more people. I don't think we sell ourselves well enough. So one of the things I would reference is what the London Market Group do. So they did a fantastic presentation where they used pictures and a montage, two young sort of people leaving sort of university or school, which showed sort of sporting events, Formula One, horse racing, and arts, and said, do you realise that if you're in this industry, these are the sort of things you could have to be insured? And I think that really sort of resonated with that sort of type group. But I think there's a need for all of the industry to come together and actually have sort of a program which allows sort of real promotion of how great the industry is. Because if we don't do that, then we are in competition with other sectors and we will lose out to those other sectors who do it better than the insurance. So it's something I think, you know, we're very conscious of in our at the MGAA because of our next generation group. BIBA have got the same, LMG have got the same. It's just about trying to corral and bring those together and actually sort of do a cohesive approach. So that's what I think we need to do. But if we don't do it, we will miss out.
I think we have to showcase what we do more effectively. So I've been in the insurance industry for all my career, over 35 years, and I fell into it. And we can't rely on that any longer. So we need to be better in telling the story, the varied roles that are available for people to learn technical skills, and really focus on what is insurance. It's a purposeful industry. We do good. We help to protect companies, we protect people, we protect their assets. I think that resonates with young people, but I sometimes think that story doesn't come across because there are occasions where there might be some negative headlines out there which don't represent what we do day in, day out. Across the industry, we genuinely help businesses, people and companies to take risks, to be creative, to be innovative and grow, which has got to be good for UK PLC.